Hello, in this video, we're going to show you how to split an expense item between personal and business. And this is highly relevant to many small business professionals who maybe have an automotive expense or and they use the automobile partly for business, partly for personal reasons, and they have to be able to split that expense in the right ratio. And it also works for people perhaps who have home offices and they want to write off a percentage of their utility bill or mortgage bill and that sort of thing, or interest expense, and they don't want to have to do the math each time. And what this program can do, it can do the math for you, and it's real simple to set up and very suitable for home business professionals especially. So let's just take a look at the setup screen first of all and show you how this works. And we'll do a couple of sample entries. So let's say, for example, we'll go to our expense category list here, and we can edit the category list this way. And let's say you have an automotive expense, and your automobile is used for business and personal use. But let's say we want to change the ratio to, let's say, 70/30. So just click down, and you can see that we're changing the ratio, and we can do that for all the automotive billings, insurance, repairs. So anytime there's a bill relating to the automobile, we can set up the split here. So that knows the program will know how to do it. And let's say your cell phone is 80% personal, or I should say 80% business and 20% personal. You can change that, and you can do that to all the different expenses. And let's say your accounting fee, there's no split there, so you can just change that to 100 business and so on. So you can make these adjustments, and then when you're done, you close and you save the changes. Now, when you want to make an entry, what we're going to do is then, let's say in December the 2nd, we have a automobile expense, and let's say you used your Visa card to buy gas. So here's where you have to look at your entry in terms of the class. If it's fully expensable as a business expense, well, then you just use general business. You don't need to use split because it'll just be that. If you if the entry is fully personal and this was nothing to do with business, but you have a personal expense, then you can use that because this program will allow you to record all your business and all your personal stuff, and a lot of freelancers may like that, and home-based business people. So that does that here. But here we're going to use the split, and we want it to do the math. So what we're going to do is choose that, and then we're going to choose, let's say it's an automotive repair in this case. So we'll choose this, and let's say new tires or whatever you want to call it, and let's say it's $200, and okay, there's a tax in this example. So this is how the entry is set up, and then you just choose submit. Okay, so let's take a look at that entry, automotive repair, and it was for December, so I'm just going to isolate that entry with these filters. Okay, we got December automotive repair filter on. There's the entry. So we got $200 and there's a tax, 191. So now we look at the report and look what happened here. It took that $200 invoice. It applied 133.97 plus tax towards the business and $60 towards personal. And it's using exactly the ratio that we set up in the setup screen as 70/30. So that is how that works, and it does the math. So real simple. And on the business only expense, it then shows up with that 133 and 603, $140 in this case for the expense that's applied towards the business. So it just kind of gives you a running total throughout the year. Now at the end of the year, if you decide, hey, I didn't use my automobile 70/30, it was a different ratio. In fact, it turned out that it was more like 75/25. Well, you can make that change at the end of the year or anytime during the year, and it'll recalculate the entire year. So if I go to my automotive repair and I say, yeah, I think it was 75/25, and I save that change, Look at that. So now it recalculated this invoice. Now it's only 50 to personal, and the rest went to business. And that's the difference. So anyway, this is the flexibility of that feature, and don't worry about the ratios at the beginning if they're not quite right, because you can always change them later, and you will have an updated financial. So I hope that helps. Thanks for tuning in.